Hey, Charles here with Rocky Mountain, and today I'm going to show you how to upgrade your TW200 and put Racetech Adventure fork springs on. Now, this is a big upgrade over the stock springs, so if you have one of these bikes, you probably already know they're undersprung. If you're going off-roading, they bottom out all the time. Now, we've just been doing some light adventure on these bikes, and we're sick of bottoming out, so that's why we're doing this upgrade. With that said, it's going to be a similar process for any of these TW200s. You do want to refer to any information that came with your springs along with your model-specific service manual throughout the process. But that said, let's go ahead and get started. To get this done, we're going to need some common hand tools. We're using socket sizes 10 all the way up to 19. We also have a 5mm Allen, 19mm combo. I'm using a torque wrench as well. And a lot of these tools, they came out of our Tusk Moto toolbox. You might want to look into that if you need some. Over here, we're getting more specific to the job. So obviously we have our drain pan, our measuring cup, and we have this fork oil level setting tool. On this other side, you need a way to take a measurement in millimeters, whether it's a machinist rule, a tape measure, or digital calipers. And then you're gonna wanna have a pipe cutter as well, and a Sharpie. To get this done, we have our Racetech Adventure fork spring kit. Now again, just use the drop-down menu on our website to get the correct springs for your weight. If you're more aggressive with riding, you can get a stiffer spring. If you're less aggressive, you can go lighter. And the kit's gonna come with both springs, the spacers and washers for both forks. So you're only gonna have to get one kit. Now we're also gonna need some oil. The manual's gonna call for a 10 weight. We're going with a 15. It's a little bit thicker and it's gonna give us a better feel with our forks. Now we're also gonna be using some contact cleaner to get everything cleaned up before we go back together. Now, if you need any of these parts, whether it's the kit, the oil, or the contact cleaner, you can find this stuff on our website by clicking the link in the description below. And just so you guys know, the stock spring rate, it's a 0.52. We're going to a 0.69, so quite a bit of difference, and this is gonna work a whole lot better than that stock spring. Now with this, we already have our forks removed from the bike. If you need to see more of that process or want to know how to do it, we've got a separate fork rebuild video. You're going to want to go check that out. Now over at the bench, first thing we want to do is remove this fork boot, and we're going to wipe down the fork and make sure everything's clean. So we've already loosened up this cap at the bike. I'm going to go ahead and remove it the rest of the way. Just keep a little pressure on it since it is under tension. I'm gonna lay these parts out in order. So I have my cap, I've got a spacer, there's gonna be a washer and a spring in here. I'm just gonna put my finger over the end. I'm gonna dump this oil in my drain pan. And I'll go ahead and remove this washer and the spring. And if you want, you can let this hang upside down for a few minutes and drain into your pan. Then from here, I'm gonna clamp the fork into the vise. I do have soft jaws, but I wanna make sure I don't scratch this outer tube. And then we're gonna push the inner tube all the way down until it's bottomed out. And I'm just wiping that thread area where the cap goes in, and that can get kind of dirty sometimes. And from here, we're going to install our new fork spring. And you can see this spring is actually longer than stock. So the length of these springs is intentional, and you need to set up the preload correctly. So we'll go ahead and set this down into place. After that, I'm gonna clean up my spacer along with my fork cap and washer. So I set this spacer on there temporarily after I cleaned it, but you wanna make sure the washer is down in place on top of your spring. Put the spacer back on. I've got the cap on top, and I'm gonna extend this inner tube all the way up, and we're gonna let this cap sit here. You wanna make sure everything's as centered up and level as possible. And then what we need to do is take a measurement from the edge of this inner tube to the sealing surface of the cap. So with this inner tube all the way up, without pulling on the top out spring, we're just measuring the gap between the top of the tube and the sealing surface on the cap. So for this bike, we've got 15 millimeters right there. So with us having that 15 millimeter difference, if we tighten this cap right now, that's gonna give us 15 millimeters of preload on our spring. So we need to bring that down to 6. That's what's recommended for the TWs. So to do that, I'm gonna take this cap off and remove my spacer. So with us having too much preload, we just need to do some simple subtraction to determine how much length we need to take off of this spacer. Now keep in mind, if you're gonna be using any of the supplied washers, calculate those into your measurement. Racetech does recommend having a washer on each side of your spacer. For us, we're just putting this back exactly how it was stock, except for we're gonna be taking some length off of this. Now, if for any reason your stock spacer isn't gonna work for your application, keep in mind that Racetech did supply those spacers in that spring kit, so you can cut these to length as well. So with that being said, we were at 15 millimeters of preload. We're trying to get to 6, so that means we need to trim off 9 millimeters from our spacer. So I'm gonna lightly clamp this tube in my soft jaws. Gonna measure out my 9 millimeters. Then you can simply use your pipe cutter to cut that end off. All right, so we have our spacer cut. I've got my fork tube back in the vise. Spring in place, washer on top. Install the spacer. If you have a washer on the top, set that on there. We're gonna pull this inner tube up, and then I'm gonna set the fork cap on. So on this, I can feel I'm hitting the thread, so whatever measurement I have here, it's not gonna be accurate now. So what we're gonna have to do is take a depth measurement. We're gonna go from the top of this slider, and we're gonna measure to the top of this spacer right here. So we're 9 millimeters down. So if I measure this cap, I'm gonna go from that lip where it contacts the top of the fork tube and measure the height. So we're 15 millimeters tall on that. If we minus 9 from that, that's gonna give us 6 millimeters of preload, which is exactly what we want. So we've verified that everything is good. So from here, we're going to remove the spacer, any washers, and the spring, and then we're gonna fill this up with oil. Now for the fork oil, the spec to pour in is 238 milliliters. But with that being said, I'm just gonna measure out 250, and then we're gonna suck out any extra oil from the top. Then I'm gonna pump this inner tube up and down a few times just to get the oil worked in and try to get any air bubbles to work their way to the top. And then we'll just let this sit for 5 or 10 minutes and let the rest of the air come to the top. All right, now for the oil height, we've got this oil height setting tool, and we've got it set at 130 millimeters. The stock height would be 135, which is slightly less oil. But if you have a little more oil in there, it's gonna increase your bottoming resistance. So that's why we're doing it. We're gonna go ahead and set that in there. And that height is actually what Racetech recommends, by the way. So all we have to do now is pull any extra oil out, that's all that came out. Now we can reinstall our spring, putting that washer in. We've got our spacer, then we've got the cap, and I'm applying a little oil to that O-ring. We're gonna do the final tightening on the cap once this is back in the bike, and that's gonna be torqued to 17 foot-pounds. Now we can reinstall the fork boot. And I'm gonna tighten this clamp once it's on the bike to make sure I have this in the correct spot, or you can go off. Sometimes you can see some marks where the triple clamps go. You can tighten it right there. So this one's done, and we're ready to do those same steps on the other fork. Now we can slide the forks in one at a time. We're gonna have the cap seam flush with the upper triple clamp surface. We're gonna torque the lower triple clamp bolts to 17 foot-pounds, tighten the cap to 17, and then tighten the upper triple clamp bolt to 17 as well, and do that for both sides. After that, reinstall your wheel. And when you're installing the wheel, make sure you have just a little bit of grease on that axle. And if you have a speedo gear like ours, make sure it's lined up with its groove. Now the torque spec, whether you have a drum brake or a disc brake on the axle nut, is gonna be 65 foot-pounds. Use some caution when you do this. Now for the caliper mounting bolts, those are gonna get torqued to 22 foot-pounds. And again, if you got oil on them, make sure you replace those pads. We've got a separate video if you need it. And last, don't forget to pump up your brakes if you have disc brakes. So that's it for installing the Racetech Adventure fork springs on your Yamaha TW200. If you have any questions, leave those down in the comments. If you need to pick up some springs, you can find those on our website by clicking the link in the description below. We offer free shipping on orders over $75, so take advantage of that and subscribe to our channel for more helpful content. I'm Charles with Rocky Mountain ATV MC. Thanks for watching.